Now here's what it's all about. So you make $4 on a Tweety Bird, but I'm gonna end up making roughly $125 on this item. Hello everybody, welcome back to Commonwealth Picker. We are back in the eBay cave, and after a disappointing day yesterday, we had a really good day today. We shoot for $200 a day. I'm a part-time picker, part-time flipper, and a full-time high school history teacher, and have a young family as well. So I try to shoot for around $200 a day is my goal, and that really helps us get by and kind of meet our bills. But every once in a while you have a bad day, and that was yesterday, and every once in a while you have a good day, and that was today. So every year after Halloween I go by and I do some retail arbitrage, and my goal is to, if I have a little money, I do some retail arbitrage. My goal is to pay for next year's Christmas with this year's Halloween sale items. And so I sold a few last year after Halloween, surprisingly enough, and this year I hope to do the same, but there's always leftovers, and I could buy a ton of it. There's a ton of it out there. It's just a matter of, are you willing to outlay thousands of dollars to make thousands of dollars later? And usually I don't have the cash flow to outlay thousands of bucks right before Christmas. So I usually spend what I can afford, but between $500 and $1,000 and then take those items, try to flip a couple real quick and recoup some of my money, put the rest away, and I list it immediately to try to flip it all, and then put the rest away, and then hopefully the next year in September, early October, we're gonna sell that stuff and have a decent little nest egg to build for Christmas time and to buy gifts for the kids, and have a little bit extra when we need it at Christmas time. So, and of course you take in those Q4 sales on top of that, and you're going to be pretty good going into the new year. This is the first item that sold, and let me tell you how much it went for. Now this is a big item, so obviously can barely fit it in the screen here, and I do calculated shipping on this, and I give people different options. I usually start with parcel post as their first option because it'll appear the cheapest, and then I'll do FedEx in there. I'll put priority mail in there too if somebody's willing to pay for it. You just never know, but I usually start with parcel post. I'll check pirate ship on this one to see, something we haven't talked about, but I'll check that to see if it's cheapest, but probably gonna just do calculated shipping with exactly the service that they paid for. I'm not quite sure what that is at this point. I haven't looked, but it is $119.95. I paid $50 for this item, and so we're gonna make roughly after fees about $55. Now, just so you know, I put in the listing, I believe, I'll have to double check it. I put in the listing, it'll ship in that box. I'll put that box into a heavy-duty black trash bag. So I put it into one of these heavy-duty contractor. I get these from Sam's Club's members mark right there. Heavy-duty, and it should hold up just fine, but you should disclose it in the listing. And if I have a box for it hanging around, I'll put it in the box, but I usually don't. And I've never had anybody complain about this, so I'm just going to keep doing it until they do. I did, just full disclosure, I learned this trick from Pete at Craigslist Hunter years ago, and I've been using it ever since. Next item is just this Liberty Flame shirt. I probably picked it up for $1 or 50 cents. I pick these up for $1 or 50 cents all the time. List them for $10. That's $1.50 in fees plus 50 cents is $2. Shipping is going to be less than $3, so it's about a $5.25 profit. And I sell tons of them. I probably sell 30 or 40 every year. Now, this was an item I picked up at Goodwill, and I was really excited about it. It's a Mickey in space disc cargo hold, but I bought the whole toy, and I thought, hey, this thing's gonna be great. Well, it turned out it didn't work, and there was corroded batteries in it, and I didn't do my due diligence and pick through it all. It was 99 cents, so I thought I was gonna make like 40, 50 bucks on it, but I ended up still selling the cartridges for, I think, just under $13. It sold for $12.88, so I still made a pretty good little $6, $7 profit on it. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to attach the video I did yesterday for our measly little 3 sales to the beginning or the end of this, so you have to forgive me if I'm repeating myself. But I broke, there was a lot of 2 ghosts, and I broke them into 2 to give somebody a slightly better deal on 1 because they didn't want this one. And I said, okay, no problem. So we did that, and then we relisted this one for about 14 bucks, sold it for $13.81, I think. And so we ended up making the exact same amount that I would have made on the 2 had they shipped together. And so I'm pretty happy about getting rid of this guy too. It's a funky looking ghost, if you ask me. Looks like Jabba the Ghost to me. At any rate, these are old world ornaments, and this is going to go on the Happy Little Accident tabulation chart that we've been doing. We have a $200 buy. I know a lot of people came in the last few days, came in from Cincinnati Picker mentioning our program. So first of all, welcome to all of you, and thank you so much for subscribing to the channel and being so kind. It's very appreciated. John is a terrific guy, and we'll take anything John can send our way. You guys are awesome. So, and I'll tell you what, anybody who says anything about John out there being a nice guy is absolutely correct. He's been nothing but kind to me behind the scenes as well. So at any rate, this guy is going to go out, and we're going to tabulate this onto the Happy Little Accident. If you haven't been around, the Happy Little Accident is a video from a month or so ago. You can look at the Bob Ross thumbnail, and you can go check that out. We spent 200 bucks and filled the truck up, and I predicted we'd make 2,500 bucks. My wife said 2,000, and we're kind of battling it out. So far, we are at $1,019. This takes us to $1,019. This is about an $8.85 profit is what I calculated. So I rounded this one up to $9. The previous one was a little bit over 9, and we rounded it down. So far on that $200 buy, $1,019. This is another buy we've talked about in the past. So I bought a box full of decals. My estimation was about 1,000 decals for $5. And we sold a few of them on eBay, not a whole lot, but we've made probably close to $100 now on the decals we've sold on eBay, and we have a few more to go. But we put the other 950 inside of Bell Treasures down in North Bread Street in Bedford, and we're downstairs down there on our little antique booth, and we've been selling those. I would say we've sold 50 stickers for $1 a piece down there. So between these eBay sales and those stickers selling in the antique booth, we'll probably take it to the other antique booth as well. My estimation is we will make $1,000 profit. At some point, those in there will kind of dry up. The last 20 or 30 stickers just aren't going to sell, and we'll end up getting rid of them probably a year from now. But this one is Daytona International Speedway, the world center of racing, 24-hour Pepsi challenge. For whatever reason, this one had some value, and I picked it out, and it sold for 15 bucks. So we're happy with that. I don't think I gave you a total today, and I've got to look at the total for the day. It's $392.11 was the total. I think I said 400. So nothing sold out of the Homeschool Hustler store, which is a little disappointing, but we did have a couple things sell a few days ago. So Reagan and Turner got their money. Speaking of John Cincinnati Picker, by the time this thing airs, we should know our winners. Hopefully they've chosen which thing they want, and the second and third winners I'm probably going to be getting back to you about this point. Hopefully I've got back to you already. It's difficult because sometimes these videos air the day I film them. Sometimes they air the next day, sometimes 2 days later. It just depends on what's going on. But speaking of John, I heard him say in a video the other day. Matter of fact, I think it was the one maybe that he mentioned us in, that you should never walk by plush. Just check it out. You just never know. Now, this is not a great plush, so I'm not going out there and advocating going out and spending 50 cents on a plush and making $4.50 profit, which is what we did on this, because this sold for 10 bucks. So just to give you an idea, if it's worth your time. So we paid 50 cents for this item. Fees on a $10 sale is roughly $1.50. So you add that $1.50 to the cost of goods, we're at $2. This thing will cost it'll probably end up costing about $3.80 to ship it ish. So let's say 4 bucks. So we're in it for $6 and we got 10 bucks for it. So we're gonna make $4 and change on an item like this. Is it worth it? I don't know, calculate that out with the time spent, including this video, and you're probably gonna make about $35 an hour. I would say it's worth it if you're doing all this, because I've already got it set up. I've already got to do shipping. I've just got to pull one more item, click one more button. If this was the only item I was shipping out in a day, it's not worth it. It's not worth coming down here, turning everything else on, and doing the shipping. But if this is my, 7th item of the day, sure, make an extra $4, throw it in. I got to go to the post office anyways. So that's the way I justify it in my mind. But this is also a long tail item. This has been in here for 6 months down in my little plush booth down there, or plush tub down there. Now here's what it's all about. So you make $4 on a Tweety Bird, but I'm gonna end up making roughly $125 on this item. This is a Panasonic RX C20. And it is a really nice little item. This is the kind of thing that you hope to get. Now, I've had it in the store for, I don't know, probably 3 months now, maybe 2 months. I bought it in the middle of the summertime. I paid $1.99 at the Goodwill for this. And it is in really, really nice condition. It is a quality item. This is the kind you're looking for. Let me give you a little hint for those of you who don't know much about electronics. And I'm not an expert. I always joke that I am a jack of all trades and a master of none. I get so much help from the viewers out there. So my little hint for vintage electronics is really simple. Small and heavy is good. Big and heavy is bad. So if you get a big, heavy VCR, no good. You'd rather have a smaller, lighter VCR. But if you're talking about tape decks and things like that, you want compact and heavy. And it's not always true, so don't take that to the bank. But in this case, this is a really heavy item. It's not the junk you would buy. This is a really nice tape deck. It's got auto reverse on it. You can kind of tell by the keys sometimes, and they're not big old bubble keys that stick out really far. They're kind of flat to the machine. Now, if all else fails, if you're in a hurry, you got to recognize those things, and you can almost recognize bad ones and save yourself time and move on to the next sale or next item or whatever. But obviously, if you're new to this game, just look up the model. Just find the model number and look it up, and you'll figure it out. And I looked up the model number, but if I would have thought this was a piece of junk by looking at it, I would have never looked up the model number. So this sold for $149.95 plus shipping, and the shipping is calculated. And so, like I said, $125 profit, give or take a little bit, is what we're looking at here. And this made my day for sure. All right, thanks for joining us, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. And I cannot thank you enough for all the kind words and compliments, and how fast this channel has grown is just amazing to us. So thank you again. See you next time.